Alright, what's up Faith Fam? Welcome to the first supplemental video. The next one's going to be a little more in-depth, guys. So this is just a quick rundown. I know y'all been waiting to see this video so y'all can try to understand a little bit better about the house. First off about Monroe House is this. House was built early 1900s. It was a single home, then it became a duplex, and then a triplex. So when Eddie had gotten the house, he discovered bloody gym shorts with a necklace and a pendant and a lock of blonde hair in one of the corners of the downstairs in the basement in the crawl space. He also discovered several unmarked graves on his property, and then he later found out that there were occult practices that were done in the house by former tenants. I think that was in the 80s. There was also the family from the 1900s that lived in that rented out the upstairs part of the house, called the Myers family. The husband and wife both brutally beat their kids, and the husband even went as far as possible sexual abuse, and the mom went as far as taking a carriage whip to her children. It is believed that these kids were murdered by either the mom or the dad, or that were murdered and tossed into the well as either the mom or the dad being killed and put into the well. Also, with that being said, there are human remains that were discovered in the crawl space. And y'all can think that's a lie. It is not a lie, because I have personally seen these remains face to face myself. People think that due to the occult practices, the tenant who did this conjured forth several demonic spirits. He thought he could control them, but it backfired on him. And he did this to get back at people who did him wrong, friends and family, and possibly other people. There's that, but Eddie thinks that the remains could very well possibly be Native American, because there's speculation that there was a Native American reservation on that property where Monroe House sits, and they were all killed by Confederate soldiers, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but just pretty much soldiers came in and mowed them down before Hartford City began to become what it is today. But back then it had just started out with just a few log cabins, and then the railroad system came in, glass industry, and then Hartford City became the city that it is today. Also with that house, when the old Blackford County Jail, which is right across the street, was being built, John Saxon, who was the first sheriff of Hartford City, was living in Monroe House while the jail was being built, and he decided that when he started getting inmates, that he actually stored them downstairs, he housed them in the basement. And in my videos you can look and see, you can actually see where there's a plank of wood bolted down into the ground, and you can see along the ceiling of the basement where the rods were, or the jailhouse bars were. So there's no telling what those inmates could have done to one another, and the kind of people that they were. As Eddie began to fix up the house, that's when the haunting really began, and it really began to ramp up. The things that are in there have bits people, scratched, punched people, bit and scratched till the points where people would bleed, punching people, pulling hair, and even attaching themselves to people and following them home. This thing is also known for tearing apart teams. My team was one of them back when we first went in 2020. So, shortly after the investigation, within a month and a half, my whole team, we all just departed from each other. Me and John and Brent still are best friends to this day, but reading documentation on that, and you can also find this actual documentation of teams being affected who have been there that were interviewed by Richard Estep, and the book is called On Dark Ground. You can find that on Kindle, and you can also find the book on Amazon, and I highly recommend looking into this book because it explains a lot. There's interviews in there with Eddie, Sherry Stewart, Pam, Eddie's wife's sister. They are all interviewed in this book, and Sherry gives out quite a bit of information. It's crazy, the stuff that she has. She even has a timeline in there of the families that lived there. So, I highly recommend checking that book out. But, as far as all this going on, guys, that kind of gives you a little bit of an insight to this house and how dark it is. And I will be doing a part 2 on this supplemental, which I will talk about my team's experiences from 2020 up until this most recent one with Faith Over Fear. That's going to be a little bit of a longer video. I started to film the full entire supplemental, but then my camera battery died. And so I put it on for the charger for about 30 minutes. So that's why I'm doing this real quick intro to this supplemental, and then I'm going to go more in depth this weekend on Sunday. I plan on doing this and really talking about my experiences there, guys, for the supplemental part 2. So I really hope that you all tune into this one. But anyways, guys, so there's a real quick insight to the Monroe house and what's gone on in there. Also, here, this one's going to blow you all away. I saved this one for last. There was even a serial killer. That's right, a serial killer that was living in Monroe house. And this guy has a brother who lived in the house with him, and when he was being interrogated, when his brother got caught, that he claims he had nothing to do with what his brother was doing. He just stayed out of the way. The murderer would go to these war reenactments, Civil War, Confederate War reenactments and stuff that they would do in Hartford City. He would go there and he would target women, lure them to the house, and then kill them. And me and Chris Ball and Eddie were all talking about this because Eddie had actually looked this up too and found it to be true. And I told us, like, hey, maybe that's where the bloody gym shorts and the hair and the locket that you found, maybe that's where that came from when this guy was doing this. And Eddie goes, that's a really good point. But they let a team use those objects, and the people who used them to use in their investigation stole them. So they put a post on Facebook about that. That's been a few years ago. But the locket and the stuff, if you guys have ever seen Paranormal Lockdown with Nick Groff and Katrina, those are the things that were stolen. So they let a team use them after that, and they're gone. They have never gotten them back at all. They're, out there somewhere. But guys, anyway, that's just a little bit of insight. And there was also a black swamp that was located by that property of Monroe House way back when, and it's no longer there. Pam actually brought that one up to me and stuff. But also, if you guys have ever looked at the old Blackford County Jail or Monroe House, those are the only 2 locations in Hartford City that actually sit on top of mounds. Everything else in that town is flat. So that's another thing to think about. It makes me wonder, Native American burial grounds maybe? There's no telling. So that all could kind of stem to this haunting and stuff like that. So, but anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this real quick video. My camera's battery's about to die, so I want to get this saved and uploaded. And like I said, guys, I'm going to be working on the supplemental part 2. So I may just go ahead and just do that one Saturday night and then get that uploaded Sunday afternoon for you guys. So anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this real quick insight. It's a little bit of food for thought there, so I hope you all enjoy it. Give this video a like. If you're new to this channel and want to check out my stuff, evidently I've been getting a lot of traffic. And I just want to say, guys, I respect everybody's comments on my channel. I do. I don't take offense to any of it. I'm just opening up about myself. Everybody out there is entitled to their own opinion. But anyways, guys, I don't take any offense, and if anything out there that is really bad, gets said about, or if I'm being belittled in any way and I do take offense to it, then I'm just going to simply just block. So I'll just block the person. But anyways, guys, I appreciate all your comments. I like reading them, and I don't find them to be offensive at all. So everybody out there, like I said, is entitled to their own opinion. So I hope you all are enjoying the content that I'm putting out there. I look forward to getting this next supplemental video uploaded Saturday night or Sunday. But anyways, guys, stay blessed. Merry Christmas to everybody, and hope you all have a Happy New Year. And everybody stay safe out there on the road. People are going crazy this year for the holiday season for some odd reason. But anyways, guys, with that being said, stay blessed, and I will see you guys on the other side. Take care.